feels good. I was happy to shoot bogey free. It was kind of on my mind a little bit. I feel like it's been a while since I've shot bogey free as well, so that felt really nice. This layout is totally different, and I was excited to see what happened. Feels really good. I will definitely be up there at the top, close at the end.
I don't really know what to say, but I was kind of all over the place mentally, but I brought it in, focused when it mattered, and had a pretty decent round. Definitely had a few shots that I felt slip away, but I made way more good shots than bad shots, and that's what I can be proud of. I really like throwing up and down hills. I think that's one of the most fun things to do in disc golf. Just brings a whole new element and challenge, especially at a course like Tobaggan.
Hello everyone, and welcome to round 2 here at the 2023 Discraft Great Lakes Open presented by Grip 6. This is the playoff event numero uno, and we've got Big Barri commentary bringing you all the action, a little bit of insight from the two leaders of our event, Eagle Mcmahon and Kevin Jones, starting off the tournament with a pair of 8-unders and really creating some separation, the next best score being at 5.
Yeah. Those are great scores. I mean, absolutely fantastic scores out there, especially with the inclement weather that we had to deal with. A little bit of the wind, muddiness of the course. Yeah, conditions of the course was just tough, so those were impressive scores. You see how he did it up there. Eagle Mcmahon, and then Kevin Jones doing it a different way with some good putting and scrambling. Yeah, scrambling very well.
Yeah, Eagle with the 1 bogey, but got 9 birdies out there, which is just incredible. The wind wasn't nearly as much of a factor. It was a lot of the sloppiness that can make footing so tricky out here. But wind will be a factor here in round 2 as we take a look at Simon Lizotte, the lowest PDJ number of a slew of players who were able to shoot 5 under, and Bradley Williams rounding out our lead card here. Bradley Williams, I would say not surprising, but with how much this course caters to the big distance, Bradley Williams can throw it far. Sure, he won at Preserve, and that's a big course. But I wouldn't necessarily think that Bradley Williams' game would outclass that of a Calvin or an AB or something. So it's impressive to see him up here at 5 under. He must have been playing very well in round 1.
Yeah, great points. I think he's playing very well over the last couple of months, really. I mean, he had a great European stretch.
Yep. And as we look over, the brand new hole 1 location is a 546-foot down, or 545-foot downhill par 3.
Over to the left, huh?
And very close to the left side, OB. Eagle is going to play this pretty safe, and this is heading so far right, it might actually not be safe anymore. Okay, no, that's just a different camera angle. Okay, that's going to be deep C2. And OB is close enough to the basket that I think it might be a difficult run. This is a very challenging hole location, especially with the wind. It looks like it's kind of down right now, though.
That's a good shot right there from Kevin. Looks like they're all just trying to play in the middle. I mean,
this is a safety dance.
Very, very tricky wind coming down the hill, out of bounds, just absolutely everywhere.
And there's OB on the right side early as well. And I think to get to this pin, you might want to try flexing a forehand right to left, but there's a big branch that sticks out in the way. So if you have to get there all hyzer, as you see Simon accessing the farthest left part of that tee pad to avoid that branch. But if you have to get there all hyzer, it just takes next level. Like, not even Eagle was close enough to consider that a really good tee shot.
See if Bradley can do it. Like I was saying, very good stretch over there in Europe. He took down a win, actually, with Macbeth in the field, which was very impressive.
Yep.
And then a top 10 at the European Open. So he's playing with a lot of confidence.
Mm-hmm.
There's a good shot right there. He's also a very calculated player. So on tough courses like this with a lot of out of bounds,
pick his spots.
He picks his spots. Yep. Throws a lot of great shots.
Stays
very accurate.
Disciplined. And this will be pushing that OB line, but staying in bounds. About 24 feet left for the par.
Yeah, a little loose on that upshot, but should be fine unless it gets all crazy windy.
Simon getting a little bit aggressive, but he also puts the brakes on.
You don't want to be on that side Coming back towards the basket, you're going to be facing with a dead headwind.
Kevin giving himself a tap in. And let's see how aggressive Eagle gets. That's a layup.
A maybe go.
Is that maybe?
If your body like accidentally popped it.
Yeah.
You know?
That wasn't full send for sure, but easy par. Second hardest hole in the course, and it's because of things like that. Bradley Williams off right side, spit out.
See those
Chain
flags?
out. Yep.
Very windy.
And certainly didn't help Simon's confidence much, I'm sure, to see that miss, but his putt is true. Second most difficult hole in the course, and get this, Paul. How many birdies do you think there were on the day? Do you know the answer?
6.
There was a single birdie on the day. It was
Really?
Zach Johnson, and it was from 60 feet.
What?
Zach Johnson from 60 feet.
I would have lost a lot of money on that.
Yeah, and Eric Oakley was on my card 25 feet away. He hit the band, and that would have been the only putt even remotely close to the basket. Yeah, it was a forehand tee shot. It's just very, very difficult location. As you see, we go 1 over for the card here on this hole. But what hole 1 takes away in birdies, it gives back a little bit here in hole 2 because we have a slightly shorter position, and it makes it so much easier that it actually becomes the easiest hole on the course.
So funny how 80 feet can do that.
It's not even 80
Yeah,
feet.
maybe 60.
It's like 40. It's like 45 feet maybe. There's the basket here. The yellow basket's the long. That's not that much. I mean, yeah, 55 feet is the difference between them. But you can see this basket from the top of the hill, which is interesting because it's only one of 4 holes that you can see from the tee on the course.
Can you see hole 3?
Actually, you can't quite see this pin. The limbs are blocking it.
Yeah, you can see a piece of it, I think, through the lens.
Yeah, maybe. If you step out to the side.
If you've got hawk eyes like eagle. Well,
Yeah.
he has eagle eyes. If you have eagle eyes like hawks. Wait, crap.
Eagle in the fairway. Kevin really accessing that left side. A little bit of a tailwind, which is going to really help these guys who really put a lot of Anheuser on it. Staying in the middle is what Kevin is able to do there.
Simon's.
Yeah. What's
Yeah,
he?
look, I think he's accessing that high. He's going on an aggressive angle, which tells me it's going to be high. Yep.
And that immediately got pushed down, but it's still going to be a great tee shot.
Yeah, really easy from there. Like you said, just bringing it to where you can see it. Not only that, but it's easier to get to the top of the hill, and it creates like a buffer to where you don't go too far.
That's no farther than 260 to the pin from there. But uphill 40.
This needs help.
With the more attackable basket location, he's certainly still within range.
Yeah, and he's got a favorable lie since he's not directly on the slope.
Correct.
Oh, pull job.
Yeah, and that is so easy to do when going uphill. There is a little shelf that's about another 50 feet up, and if you can get to that shelf, and you can really do yourself a big favor in your run up.
I think you might still have a long look though from there. Same.
Eagle early right side, but that's close enough to the top of the hill. I think he's actually close to being inside the circle, if not inside the circle.
Yeah. This is Kevin's forte. Putters. You'd like to play catch with him. He's pretty accurate with it.
Even with Simon's big drop out of the hand, it still is the longest of the group. I would have loved to have seen what that would have, where that would have ended up if it didn't get that big smackdown.
All right, so Bradley way far away. But the thing about it is, on this basket, I think has potential for the longest roll away of all time.
Go right back to the tee.
I think it does. I think if I was somebody following any group, I would videotape it because you never know when you might get just literally the funniest thing. It'll be the worst for the person. But
yeah, especially if they turn around
it,
and see that you're recording it. I mean, that would be the most insulting thing ever.
well, no, because you're recording them to make it. Of course, you're hoping for a great highlight,
That's what you're telling them.
right? But inside, you were like,
Gotcha.
"Gold."
This is bold. Kevin's putt is in, and we've got 3 birdies now, and Bradley a short par putt away from starting the round off 1 over. Over half the course was able to take the birdie here on 2, and it's just so funny. If you play this course, if you have been out here before, you know how difficult the pin position is to reach when it's just behind the hill, when you can't see it. But just because it's there, for some reason, it makes it... Let's see, it was the 13th easiest in round 1. It goes to the 18th. Okay, so not that big of a change, but still a change.
Talk about the hardest hole ever. Hole 3, par 4, 915 feet. None of that matters because there is a raging wind today. A raging swirl wind. It's going right, it's going left. Out of bounds left, out of bounds right, going extremely downhill. That's the first part. If you so happen to be lucky enough to land in bounds, from there you got about 350 to 400 into OB-ridden green. How'd I do?
You mentioned the left and right moving winds simultaneously.
Like, who knows what this is going to do?
You don't know. Yeah.
It could be good. It could get that lift, and he's dead now.
Yeah. I was about to call it and say that's a great shot, but it just did not get down to the ground. Kevin, I've seen him go mid-range off this tee in the past, and after seeing eagles, he looks like he goes back to the bag, changes his disc, and
this is just turned over and doomed.
And he might
no. You went putter.
Yeah. You can see the wind is just gnarly right now.
You're gonna have multiple discs in your hand to see just in case it switches.
Oh, is Simon gone overstable enough? I think he has.
Wow, that's so good.
Oh yeah. Oh, by a long shot. It wasn't even close.
Yeah, but you're gonna have multiple discs because the wind switches so much. You don't know if you need your flip be or stable. We were calling it eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Yeah.
I had catch a tiger because I was third on the box.
Brad, fighting crazy wind with speed and stability, just an absolute beautiful shot right in the middle of the fairway.
He's an angle guy. That's his deal.
Yeah,
like, he's going to
deal.
dissect a shot like this better than most people.
We were standing there on hole 2's tee pad, and they had the Halal guys feather banners. And I remember looking over at Tristan Tanner, and we both looked at each other, and we were both thinking the same thing at the same time as Kevin throws his approach. And all 6 feather banners were blowing in a different direction. And they were all next to one another. And I'm not making this up. I could not figure out which direction the wind was blowing.
Circle's edge left. Yeah, they're just going all...
It was one was blowing up, one was blowing down. It was just unbelievable. Eagle will have that par putt from 38 feet away. And Brad, after that great drive, he's going to be just outside the circle as well for his birdie.
Yeah, not the greatest upshot from Brad's lie.
No.
Honestly, you want to get closer on this one after a brilliant shot like that. This is
like
better.
That. Yeah, that's what you're looking for. Simon and Brad both throwing it so long, their approach was most likely blind to the pin. That grip 6 sign almost blocking Kevin's approach. Got a good old-fashioned putt-off coming up.
Eagle usually makes these for some reason right in the heart.
Some reason. When you're accurate and commit well to your putt, and you have good putting form, it just for some reason goes in.
Lots of spin on that thing that tracks right through the wind.
Yeah, we've mentioned that before in coverage. Bradley, what a good birdie putt. If you're going to take any player's putt in the wind, I think Eagle might be the player that I take.
I'll take Gannon.
I still take Eagle. I think because even though Gannon's putt is just nearly
either one of those guys,
in
it's
its
like
execution.
we're going to be critiquing the
I just think that the
tiniest-
nose down that Gannon sometimes has makes it a little bit less reliable than Eagle's. And Simon in for the birdie. Kevin Jones with the bogey save. But it was a good bogey save from out there at the edge of the circle. Good start for Simon Lizotte. A beautiful time of day to get this drone footage of hole 4. Hole 4 is traditionally the easiest hole in the course, but because one basket was moved 40 feet, it is now the second easiest hole. The new addition of these logs here across the fairway prevent skip shots, flick rollers, basically all the scramble shots that you see when people don't throw the perfect drive. You're going to see hyzers here and maybe even a flex forehand or two.
Does he get the height? I know Simon's going high to just try to go over those trees, and he threw it too far.
Yeah, that's going to be in the deep wilderness.
Couple ways you can play this. You can go inside left, or you can try to throw the flip up like this. This is going straight too. This is not good. Yeah.
I liked it a bit out of the hand, but just didn't quite get that snap left.
Yeah.
Eagle making sure that he corrects the lack of hyzer from Simon and Brad and throws an absolute gem anywhere near the base of those trees, and you're loving life. The one thing you don't want to do is put yourself 30 feet short of them and have a low ceiling and uphill approach. Or do what Simon or Brad did and throw it in the woods on the right.
That's good.
Yep, that's fine.
Sidearm approach maybe in there. Well, Kevin's a wild card. He could go backhand.
You never know. You do know that this is not where you want to be.
Nope. Sidearm roller angle flexor.
Probably another forehand, maybe a tight backhand putter approach from there. But Brad is out of the woods. Is this too low or is it driven hard enough?
I think it's good.
Okay. But that was close. I think he skipped over the last log.
Really?
I don't
think
know.
he was just
Maybe
left
not.
of him.
Maybe not.
Yeah, left.
It
of
was
him.
close though. And
Almost.
Simon, yeah, that was a great scramble effort.
Yeah, and that's a spot where he could run it and then never see his disc again. So, curious to see which one he chooses.
Simon's running it.
Lori, you think?
I don't. Have you seen? Do you remember a Simon layup putt inside 60 feet?
Lead card usually he can sometimes.
The grandpa putt or the dad putt, whatever they call it.
They might do something like that, yeah.
And Chris Dickerson stole it at Ledgestone and called it the uncle putt. No, he's too far away for that.
No, this is you called it. You called him running it. That's a run.
That's
a run.
That's like the same run as Eagle on hole 1.
Yep. Maybe on accident.
Brad in for the par.
How many accidental makes where you're like, I'm going to putt it with the purpose of halving it, but if I accidentally pop it, good.
From that far downhill, I can't do what I like to do, but I like to kind of shoot like a basketball shot, like a half-court shot where I throw it super high in the air, where it's just plopping down.
Yeah.
And so the disc doesn't really have much inertia to stand up and roll. As our leaders pick up the 2 birdies. Let's see how that fares to the field. As Mcmahon has established a 1-shot lead. Silas Schultz now off to a great start. 5 under through 7, and this is the stretch to do it, folks. If you are going to go low on this course, you want to do it in the first 7. Really anywhere in the front 9, there's opportunities.
Yeah.
The back 9, we saw Ricky Wysocki get 8 straight pars, and that is not uncommon. I mean, that is a very typical
That's
score.
quite good.
Yeah, that's a good score. You're absolutely right. Beautiful hole 5, 480 feet downhill. Quite a few, probably 30 to 40 feet down. Well, if hole 1's 60, this isn't 40, but we'll call it 25.
Oh, kicks left. Should be easy par, but birdie's kind of out of the equation.
Oh, yeah. Big time. Kevin Jones misrelease early. That is going to require some scrambling.
Did it kick out?
It looked like it kicked back towards the edge, but it's still in Narnia. Little slip off the tee for Simon, and he is kicked into the wilderness as well.
There's a right to left crosswind, which makes this one of the toughest shots to throw ever. Makes more sense to even throw a sidearm to get out all the way down there with the wind pushing from right to left.
Very tricky sidearm line, but I do agree with that. Brad, being the angle genius he is, throws a beaut. Hit the base, my man. Slow down. Don't go B.
Oh, he's in the corner. Sick.
That is the one place where it actually juts out to the right. Brad has found it. That is a really great shot, and unfortunately did not get punished. And look at Kevin. He actually kicked all the way out. You're right. I missed that.
Takes advantage of it, too. Easy up shot.
Just getting over that stump. You'd be surprised at how often that stump becomes an actual obstacle. Where is Simon even at right now? Okay, she's just off the edge of the fairway. Not many good lines.
I like it.
Yeah, but he finds one.
Tricky putt. It's a tricky putt up the hill.
I still think he would take it. If you told him
yeah,
you got inside the circle from there, I think he's happy with that. And good pitch out there for Eagle.
Well outside the circle.
To get under par. Oh, man. How many holes in this course play like that where you throw a great drive and it's just not quite good enough to get the birdie? And I was going to say it would be very much like this course for Simon then to be out of position, no chance at birdie, and find a way to scramble and take the same score.
Yeah.
I feel like that's one of the things that you see so often here.
I'm thinking all the holes play that way.
Yeah, I mean, nearly.
Where a great shot puts you circle's edge, and then somebody could just shank and then be like scrambly par.
Very important C2 putting at this event. Yeah. Very, very important. Whoever wins this event is going to have made, through 4 rounds, minimum 10 outside C1.
You think? Yeah,
I think over 4 rounds, I think 2.5 average per round, I think is really what it's going to take. Because you just can't park all these holes. They're just too long. They're too technical. There's too much out of bounds, so on and so forth. As we look at hole 6, it's a beautiful winding on the shorter end of par 4s. They don't get too many short par 4s in this course. This is one of them. 519 feet, played out to the right. And then a very, very technical approach onto the second part of this hole. Eagle's just going to go roller.
Love it.
And Josh, watch out.
Somebody threw it backwards. Did you see that? How it went in there and then went backwards? It was rolling back towards him. Huh.
That went so far that it's going to actually. Did Kevin get the angle right? Is this going to go down the hill? It's just too overstable. Still, you love it.
Mm-hmm.
Lean out forehand most likely from that side of the fairway.
All going to go like that, or is? I mean, it makes sense.
You just have opportunities to get to the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, I play the roller. I love the roller play. This is what you need right here. Oh,
oh man.
Now that's dead over there. That's really tough.
Really tricky. You need it to cut like Kevin's was, but have the speed of Eagles.
Like this.
So maybe Simon did it.
This is it.
Did Simon do it?
Yes.
Oh, Simon did it. Oh no! Oh, enemy at the gates for all 4.
That was gonna be maybe on the other side of the hill.
That would have been putting. I mean, like a putt approach, but that's incredible.
Kevin can scramble from here. And he does. This will get him a circles putt.
Yeah, be awkward-ish. He's going to be standing on a very steep uphill slope.
Simon not in a bad spot at all.
Not punished one bit. Take that, Furman Generators. And like you said, Brad is just dead to rights over here on the right side.
So is Eagle. But at least he has a workable something.
Such a tough angle for such a drive that had so much promise.
Do you have a Furman generator?
Yeah, they hooked it up, man. My generator was stolen the day before I went on tour. Like, just stolen off the back of my rig. And I hit them up, and they hooked me up. It was pretty awesome.
There you go. Grab yourself one of those bad boys.
Honestly, if you see a logo out here supporting the Disc Golf Pro Tour, that should be incentive enough to check them out. I mean, it's how this whole thing works. Kevin Jones from the side hill, great straddle putt birdie. And now he is 2 under par. And that's going to tie him at the top, back with Eagle once again. Simon with a textbook birdie.
Kevin Jones, when he gets that circle's edge C2 jump putt Jones going.
Watch out. Oh, they're tied at the top with Aaron Gossage.
So you play a lot of disc golf, but every time that you do, this happens. It's time to change that, and the Power Disc Golf Academy is here to help. Paul Ulibarri and Simon Lizotte have taken their knowledge and experience from over 350 combined Pro Tour starts and jam-packed that knowledge into an academy with video tutorials on everything from practice drills to driving to upshots to putting and much more, all to give you the power to take your game from this to this.
That started off as a highlight reel for Paul Ulibarri, but they had to change the direction of the commercial immediately. Hole 7, par 4, the turtleback hole, we call it, 667 feet. Play it to the top right side to have the best angle. If you do leak left off your tee shot, it's going to be a forehand turnover approach. OB on the right side is a new addition to this hole, and it makes this hole have some extra teeth, that's for sure. Have you ever seen a turtle with teeth?
Well, yes. Snapping turtle?
There you go. I think it's just their jaws. I don't think turtles have teeth.
Really?
No. Did Kevin Jones' drive stay in bounds?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm so pissed that freaking turtles don't have teeth.
I know. Me too.
How many nicknames are there for really good putters? There's Jump Putt Jones, Conrad Country,
Isaac's office.
Isaac's office. Exactly. Is that it?
I mean, there's so many. Eagle, you should get a nickname for driving it this far down the fairway.
I mean, it kind of does. And then you got
Look, the basket was just like the tiniest bit rotation away from seeing it in frame. Brad, does he miss this tree at the top of the hill? That's the one to miss. He does. And that should be a workable location. Not perfect, but not bad by any means. And look how close Kevin was. Oh my goodness, is he sitting on the line?
And he's going sidearm. I don't like it.
I don't like that either. I don't like anything about where his drive landed, even though it's a straight shot to the pin.
Surprised he didn't. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
I'm surprised he didn't go backhand putter.
Mm-hmm. Brad making the most from that position, and he puts the brakes on right before the OB line.
There's your guys' perspective of how good these guys have to be. Like, that's a good putter shot, and then he's a foot in. He's a foot in. Yep. I mean, that's not a bad shot.
Them's the brakes.
Like, you have to be, look how perfect these guys play.
Yeah, Simon, that's just feathery approach.
Crazy.
Well, Eagle, big distance doesn't necessarily mean easy approach shot. He's going to go flick roller, really. And that is ill-advised and OB. Fortunately, he's going to be pin high, but a very aggressive shot choice. The selection to go with a roller when the OB is so close to the basket. Very bold choice. Watch out. Oh! Kevin Jones just a bit off on the left side. Eagle needs this to save par. As you'd expect, that was perfect. Brad unable to collect the birdie. 2 quality shots, not quite enough for him on this one. You need 3 quality shots, and that's what Simon is able to deliver.
Tough hole to putt on.
Simon getting to 3 under on the round, and Brad staying at par. And this is the point where you're realizing, yeah, this is going to be a tough round. If you haven't picked up birdies, if you're not under par at this point, you start looking at the rest of the round and saying to yourself, how many more can I get? There's a few more, for sure.
Yeah.
And you can certainly scrap out 4 or 5 under. But to get somewhere in that really hot range, to get up and to stay on lead card, he's going to have to play some of his best golf you can really even imagine with the 10 or the 11 remaining holes.
Starts off by hitting that gap the drone flew through. Hit that is the most important part about this hole. Get through to the left after that. And then you have a left to right turning shot up the hill with a crazy right to left wind, which creates one of the hardest shots that you'll ever throw in the game, unless you got the big sidearm. This is high. He needs luck. I don't think it's on his side.
Gonna get it.
Nope. Have to be pushing left or just stable that gets left. That's it.
That is a really well thrown shot from Kevin. Left side the whole way. He's going to give him a pretty decent angle. Awkward footing because it's just unavoidable on hole 8. But you'll take that drive every single time. Eagle's going to have a harder angle on the approach, but being in bounds here is huge, guys. I don't really think this hole needed the OB, but it's here nonetheless.
Looked early, but that's good.
Very good.
It's good to be early here. Tough to get to the OB on the left. Easy to push your drive straight. This is going to be a super save for Simon if he can do it. It plays probably
He's getting aggressive.
400 plus.
There's danger potential, but my gosh, what a... to get to the circle's edge from there is superhuman, almost. Especially with this wind.
Yeah, it has to be kind of a lull.
Look how much harder that looked for Kevin.
Oh, wow.
From a much, much better location, but he does it better. So
yeah, that was 10 out of 10.
He made that. You can see just how difficult that angle is. With that run up, everything about it is fighting against your body's natural direction that you want to swing your bodies, your lower body, and everything is just pushing against, and Brad throws a beauty as well.
Yeah, that's an 8 out of 10. I
don't see why that's not a 9 out of 10, because that's just like, I can't imagine doing it much better than that.
Well, because of how good Kevin's was. It's hard to get a gimme here. Like, hit that putt right there, plays like a circle's edge putt.
The one that Brad has?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a weird one.
Right. Maybe more of the one that Simon has, but it looks like it's kind of calm right now. But you see how it took a little longer for it to get there? This camera angle doesn't do it justice. It's way up the hill.
That's a gnarly save. That gets the big Jerm gnarly stamp of approval.
Very good putt. Great birdie. Kevin, I've just never seen anybody get really past it with the backhand. It's so tough to do. Seen some sidearms get really close because of the spike angle, just kind of high through the branches, you know. But I haven't seen the backhand turnover in that wind get close. But I only played with 3 guys.
So, there you go. Same guys, round 1, round 2? You're just saying...
Today in the wind conditions that we had.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Kevin Jones, he is now tied with Chris Dickerson, 6 under through 10, and we've kind of had a revolving door of people up there in that mix. Anthony Barella also off to a hot start, not in the least bit surprised. 7 under through 10, is that what it just said?
Oh, I would have to go back and
I'm
take
not
a
sure
look,
if that's what it said or not.
But it's somewhere around there. If he's 10 under.
Moly.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. 7 under, I know, for the round.
Jeez. Well, hole 9, one of the 3 holes that you can see off the tee, right there in front of you, but only 472 away.
A lot of people going mid-range on this, getting that late flip. And
What a dime.
I've seen more people like in the bullseye on this hole than I care to admit. Like the best shots I've seen in a long time, all the time are on this hole. It's like once Landon
Lada?
or Randon Lada aced it. He like opened up the doors for everybody can just park this now. I've done it. This level is complete.
That was such a cool ace, man. To have that on film.
Why did I call him Landon? Sorry about that, Randon.
Well, we call him Randy and Donnie. Yeah. We all sorts of fun nicknames for him. Power player.
This could go in the hole. See what I mean? It's like, that's so good, though, still. Like, I'll deal.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's kind of scary putt uphill with the sloped green on the front and back side, but yeah.
He's a foot lower away from being
bullseye. Yeah. So, I mean, kind of body Englishing that one to stay up in the air, just willing it. It's not going to quite get there.
Are you running that one, Simon?
If I'm Simon, I don't know if I'm not running anything. I love his nose up touch with those long putts.
Yeah.
Eagle going 12% with a 0-speed disc. Going to go long probably.
Circle's Edge. The last putt from Circle's Edge was not very good.
One of the least eagle looking putts I've ever seen in my life on hole 8. Yeah, that was a bit of a layup, wasn't it? That low branch that you see at the top of your screen probably prevented him from getting... Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. See if Eagle can fix it. Yeah, that was a very short-lived errant putting stroke. Because that is a tester right there, and Eagle delivered the goods.
He's got a scary lion on his shirt.
Brad, great floaty run, just not quite high enough. A couple of putts away from actually shooting a pretty decent front 9 considering the slow start. The putt on 5 and the putt on 9 just barely off the mark. In the end, it's a 1 under. But for the event, 6 under at this point is actually really good. It's fine. I mean, you're happy with that. Kevin Jones now out to the outright lead, still 1 shot over Eagle Mcmahon. Oh, and Chris Dickerson, and Anthony Brella is off to a 7 under start, but that's through 13 holes. He's 10 under total.
Right.
That's the 10 I saw. But he's the player. Him and Aaron Gossage, 2 players that I definitely expected to shoot up the leaderboard at some point. Their style really suits this big open style. A lot of forehands, a lot of backhand hyzers. You want to play away from the out of bounds. You want to play against the wind in certain places. And those guys have those skills to be able to utilize at this track.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little surprised at how good the scores are looking because it was really windy on that front 9, you know.
Very windy, and it's going to continue being windy.
I think it dies down maybe at the end of these guys' round a little bit, but no, you're right. It's very windy up there.
Different conditions than round 1 for sure, but we are halfway through round 2 here at the playoff event in Milford, Michigan. Paul Ulibarri, Jeremy Koling, signing off for now. We'll see you in just a minute.